This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's talk about Jeff Hardy. Meltzer would write, at this point, there's no plans for Jeff to return. As noted, his name was brought up a couple of months ago as being a last-minute surprise entrant in the Cruiserweight Battle Royal for WrestleMania. The explanation given as to why it didn't happen is that Jeff is hard-headed. His departure from the company was originally because he failed 2 drug tests and he was asked to go into rehab and refused. Since his departure, he still hasn't gone into rehab. This is something that Jeff has struggled with for a long time. You, of course, were running talent relations for a good portion of his run with the company. What do you remember about his circumstance here in 04? Was it quote unquote hard-headedness that kept him from returning?
Total denial. Jeff was in total denial. Like a lot of substance abusers, he just didn't perceive that he had a big problem. It's nothing I can't handle. And so, you know, when I remember sitting down and talking with him at a TV after the drug tests and so forth, and him appearing to be, affected, not in the right frame of mind, just on whatever pills he was taking. And I said, we only, we have this theory here, Jeff, that, we either solve problems or we eliminate them. And the way we're going to solve your problem, if you agree, is that we're going to send you to rehab and help you with why are you doing this? Why are you purposely valuing getting high over your career? You're not going to make any money getting high. You can make a lot of money as Jeff Hardy, the superstar, and he was getting a singles opportunity. It was coming up. He had great charisma, as we all know, phenomenal performer. But he said, I'm not going to rehab. I said, is that your final answer? You want to think about this and get back to me later today? So we got to decide today. Nope, I'm not going. There's no sense waiting. I'm not going. All right, then I guess you're basically telling me you're done, because we can't continue this way. It's not an option. We just can't do it. So, he was wrecking Corvettes and he was all these things. He was missing death multiple times. So he was so well liked there. Jeff's such a lovable guy, and I'm so happy he's got that shit under control.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a blessing for him and his family. So, but he didn't believe he had a problem, and he's an old redneck and a country boy, and he just didn't want to. Maybe it's a sign of weakness I'm admitting to. So what? Now it's a whole different mindset when people talk about those that have drug and alcohol issues. Different deal. So I was really surprised at that decision, and when I told Vince, Vince couldn't. He was incredulous as well. You mean he's going to walk away from what? We know we're going to push him. He's got a great opportunity. Yep. So apparently he'd rather get high than come to work. And so luckily for everybody involved, for many, many obvious reasons, he's climbed that mountain, and he's looking down on a past drug and alcohol abuser. But man, he was primed. We talk about the reliability thing. There's no reason that Jeff Hardy would not have been a great WWE champion.
Right.
Or any title, but he just wasn't reliable. And how do you put your championship on somebody that you don't have full confidence that they're going to be cool, they're going to be okay? Can they take the pressure of being the champion? Can they take the pressure of going on last night after night? Can they take the pressure of putting the company on their shoulders and marching forward? And at that time, that was not what everybody thought. Just didn't think Jeff was going to be able to hold up in that scenario. And part of that's just maturing and getting past it, man. Nobody was ever going to bail on him. And look, when we were ready, if he raised his hand and said, I'm ready to go get help, we'd have brought him right back after the help, after successfully completing an alcohol program. So it was a tough time. It's just, felt bad about that, because now you look back and say, well, he wasted some time there that he can't retrieve. But he was hard-headed as hell.
Well, thankfully, it is a success story, as you mentioned. He's won the world title now with WWE 3 times and with TNA 3 times. And I think something you and I never really talk about here is in order for these stories to usually have a happy ending, something you'll see in common a lot is they've got a good support system at home. And I think that was very much the case with Jeff as well, right?
Yeah. Being married to a strong woman that stood by his side, she Tammy Wynetted his ass.
Yes.
Stand by your man. And so Beth, I think's her name.
Yes.
Did a real, she was a great wife, and she helped him through this mountain of misery. So, yeah, he had a good support system. But it all starts with the offender, Conrad. It all starts with who he sees in the mirror.
Yeah.
You can't get over it until you make a commitment to step away from that lifestyle. And he just wasn't ready, obviously, at that point in time in his career, in his life, to step away. But he changed his mind. And, you know, I love to talk about the happy endings because this one could have ended a lot more tragically.
No doubt. Let's talk about the next match. Chavo Guerrero is going to win a 10-man cruiserweight open in 10 minutes and 28 seconds. I think this match, unfortunately, is most remembered for the Ultimo Dragon's entrance. He slips. Everybody's waiting for their WrestleMania moment, and Ultimo Dragons, unfortunately, was slipping on the ramp. Did you see it live, and did you think it was a big deal? I mean, obviously it's embarrassing for him, but man, to this day, fans still point to that slip for Ultimo as if it doomed his WWE career.
I don't know if it did that or not. That's a little bit extreme, quite frankly. Human error, you know. Hey, you got guys doing their own stunts and doing their own setups and all those things for their moves and so forth. It's inevitable that's going to happen. It probably happens more often than we even talk about, but because you know, there was great hope by some of the real hardcore fans because they'd followed Ultimo Dragon in Japan and Mexico and so forth, that he was going to be a big deal for us. Another great example of putting a bunch of really good workers into a match that means nothing. No buildup, no personal hot issues going into it. Cold as ice. So I don't know that the company did a great service to those dudes in that match because it felt like it was another way of getting more people on the card so they get a payday.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.